Hello everybody, Jatt here with Kobe. It's time for another episode of This or That.
Yet again.
We don't like to overhype things on this show, but I was told by production, these are the best slides we've ever had.
How many?
Six,
and 6 of them fully loaded. Let's get to number 1 then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited because production never lies.
You didn't tell the rules though. We have to choose this or that.
Yeah. Also, I lied. Production said nothing to me other than 6 slides. More likely to end up in Challenger, Team Liquid or Envy. So this means in the promotion tournament, lose enough to not make it back into the LCS.
For the record, I don't think that it's likely that either of them will end up in Challenger. I think that both of these teams have a very good chance heading into the promotion tournament.
Yeah.
As far as which one slightly more likely to end up in Challenger though, I feel like Envy is slightly more likely just because...
So, based on current trajectory in the LCS, you would say Team Liquid has been doing better because they beat TSM last week. However, I will say, like, a team that is more likely to just, like, explode randomly, to me, actually feels a little bit more like Liquid. I don't think
so?
either of these things are happening. But I look at the way Envy plays early game, and yeah, sure, they could throw, but I feel like they'll get such gargantuan leads against some of the challenger teams that you can't throw that away.
That was going to be exactly my reasoning, though. Because of the late game where you're like, sure, yeah, they can throw. Hey, you do that a couple times in a row, and there you are.
I think this is weird because I don't think this is going to happen to either team, but I think we've constantly given Liquid a little bit more credit than they deserve this split just because of the brand names on this team, despite their performance. So I'll say likely, more likely is them, but not likely.
Okay. I think literally just because of the individual power on that team, I am actually going to say Envy because they're slightly more unpredictable to me. That being said,
all right, we're good. We're going to slide number 2. It's this and that. ADC in 2017 meme, dead or alive.
So I'm a jungler. I was never even on board with it.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? They're fine. I should be able to go over there and kill that AD carry.
The question is the meme dead or alive. I think the meme is kind of dying.
Well, it's 100% dead now. After the whole lethality, I think it was dead then.
Dude,
now that Blade of the Ruin King has taken its place.
Especially, you look at the win rates of champs like Orianna and Lulu, because they can protect the AD carry and make it carry. I feel like this role for almost the entirety of time has been busted. So, like, I'm thriving in the world where, for once, they are not the primary carry in every game. I do agree that they were a little bit lacking in ability to do things earlier in the split, and they were dying a lot. But it's changing.
Yeah, one thing the meme did do for them, now, you know, Lulu's super powerful again, so people, you know, they got the tears and everyone felt bad for them, so now you get to send all the shields their way.
Pro tip, if any role feels like they want to get buffed, just say you're not relevant, regardless of if it's happening or not. AD carries have been better at this than anyone else. Junglers did it for a little while. We had that, like, week at the start of the season where we were strong.
And the big streamers are all AD carries.
Yeah.
So,
Top lane's the one that's actually really strong right now. I'm going to say it's dead. We're going to get to slide number 3.
Dead too.
So we both say this. Roccat playoff contenders, yay or nay?
Ooh,
yes or no?
This is such a mean face. Just aside from the choice here, this is a scary slide to choose.
Are not playoff contenders.
It's like, you better not say no.
Smile.
Honestly, though, it's been super exciting to watch the recent games from Roccat because, when they start their climb out of, you know, all their losses and you're like, okay, two series in a row, 3 series in a row, 4 series in a row. Now they beat Misfits as well, and that's actually impressive.
I think they're absolutely playoff contenders, especially because we look at who they have to make it over the top of. They just have to place higher than Fnatic, and they're in the playoffs. Fnatic has a gauntlet of teams they have to play up against this week. Rockat's won 5 in a row. I think they're in.
2 things, First of all, I love underdog stories, so I'm definitely, you know, rooting for these guys, and it's fun to see them make a late time resurgence. But the way that they won the game as well, really good. The improvements in the macro play, as well as the improvements in their team fighting. Those are just exciting improvements to see in a team rather than, you know, X player went off on the team and they happened to get that win. So I think I will agree and go this.
I'm this. They have a lot of momentum moving forward. Let's get to the next slide. More believable, TL in relegation, it's already happened, or TL beating TSM also happened. Which was the true fairy tale, I think is the question. What didn't happen?
So this one is less believable. That's the opposite of the question, so that means I would choose this. Honestly, Team Liquid, 10th place team, beating TSM, the #1 squad, double F's on the team. As soon as someone even poses that question to you before it even happened, you're like, you're an anime writer or something, right? That's not gonna happen. Like, they're obviously going to get smashed. Have you seen the problems on these guys?
Yeah.
Whereas...
Because we have the context of all the roster changes they've made and the fact that they have an AD carry playing mid lane and they've just done so much, like, it's believable that they're in the relegation tournament. It's a little unbelievable that they would do that and then still lose the rest of their games. Like,
Yeah.
The game they won last week was against TSM, not against
And
Fly
even
Plus.
after they win the first game, you're like, okay, TSM win their first game of the series
seen this
probably,
before.
right? And then they win game 3, which
Yeah.
very few people have done. Actually, no other team had beaten them
Yeah.
in game 3 up until then.
All right, I
But
believe
think
this would
definitely that.
happen.
This is an easy
apparently,
one.
apparently both of them happen. We both say that. Something is made up here. Next slide, I believe, more essential ban, Bjergsen's Vladimir or Jensen's Oriana?
To me, just as a champion, Vladimir is a more essential ban right now. I know you're a huge fan of the Oriana shielding, and protecting AD carries and all that. But to me, the Vladimir where people are taking Ignite now and going into Proto Belt just seems so annoying.
It's scary.
You get to the mid game, and if he sees an AD carry, he's on the same screen. The AD carry is just dead.
Yeah, this is such a hard question.
So I would
for
go
me
with
to
this.
answer.
Whereas Jensen, his Echo is almost the same level as his Oriana to me.
I think his
that he does
Oriana
on those are
is
amazing.
on another level. He picked out 4 games in a row last week, and they
I'm
dominated
aware.
all 4. He had like 700 KDA, I think, was the correct stat at the end of the week. But that's made up. The late game play of Oriana is so difficult, and Jensen is so good at it. But I see more people run over the game with Vladimir, and Bjergsen particularly. So right now, I actually do think it's Vladimir for the reasons you listed. He just bursts the whole team, whereas Oriana is a little more intricate with how you have to set it up.
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
Unless
I think
you
that's
have
the 5th side.
Froggen to play the Anivia into it or something like that.
I say this then.
Yeah.
It's very close to that.
Definitely this.
Final slide, I believe. I'm not good at counting today. Tougher to cast, a 25-minute First Blood or an 80-minute Nexus.
So we return to the Rock Hat game versus Misfits. And like I said, the macro improvements that we saw for them, as well as the team fighting, watching a team with a Ziggs and a Tom Kench bottom lane, you get the theory craft, oh yeah, he's got this great wave clear. You can move him around the map with Tom Kench, and he can use his ultimate to the other side. There are interesting things in that.
Yeah, I love casting 80-minute games. I've never done it, but I love casting. You're the only one who cast the 80-minute game. I've cast plenty of 60+ to 70-minute games, and those ones are. I'm actually never tired toward the end of the game. It sucks for 40 to 50 minutes where you're like, yep, this game is still going, but it reaches this point where you just get really excited and wonder when it's going to end because you literally just don't know. That to me is more exciting than I wonder when someone is going to die.
Yeah. I agree on that point. As far as the 80-minute game, once you get to the end, it's just interesting to hear the types of stuff that will come out of someone's mouth after they've been talking for that long straight, and just to hear the types of stuff that will come out of a caster's mouth.
Those are way
after
more
80
exciting
minutes.
to me. They're easy to cast in a sense compared to these.
Yeah. I would, in general, if you're going for that one, for that particular one, I liked a couple things about it. So if we're going with the in general, 25 minutes for a First Blood, I think that one would be tougher.
All right, I'm going to say that.
Yes.
Kobe is agreeing with me.
This.
You're saying this?
Yeah.
All
Tougher,
right.
The question is tougher to cast.
Okay.
Sounded like you're a little.
Shoot, I'm a little mixed up. Today's been a weird day. That's the last slide for this or that. Remember, the promotion tournament for North America starts on Friday.
Starts this weekend.
The dive with myself, Kobe, and Azael comes out on Thursday or super early Friday morning if you're European.
True.
I'm excited for that.
We're going to get it done tomorrow.
I don't think I have anything else
You know
to
what
say.
we're going to talk about?
No, I have no idea.
All right,
We're gonna
well, we'll
decide
figure
with
that
whatever
out.
comes into our mind.